Well met. And what up? I'm Mulata Rants with Muscle and Magicka, and you, my friend, just accepted a quest. So, you've completed the basic nutritional quest line. You leveled up cooking a little bit, got your calories in order, your nutrition side squared away. But before you can start leveling up your combat skill, you're gonna have to figure out what mobs you're gonna attack in the gym. Because as they say, you can put a strength potion on a bench, but that bar ain't going nowhere. So today I'm gonna talk to you guys about the best program for building muscle if you're a novice in the gym. So, open up your skill tree, and let's go. So last week my girl Cindy, Wood Elf subscriber, asked me, Rance, what's the best program for a beginner in the gym? Now let me start off by saying that you can make great gains on any terrible program in the gym, provided you work hard enough, you work long enough, you've got good enough genetics, or if you've got access to some of those high quality strength potions we were talking about earlier. But you see, the whole point of Muscle and Magicka is to train you, to equip you, to advance through this game of iron as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So why, I ask, would you want to put 1 point in strength every time you level when you could be putting in 2? With that said, if you're just starting out in the gym, I highly recommend you look into a full body program that focuses on compound movements like the squat, the bench press, the deadlift. And I'm going to give you 2 reasons for that. The first reason is frequency. Most well-written, novice, full body programs will have you training each body part 3 times per week. Now there's a good chance you're accustomed to the classic 5-day training split, you know, chest on Monday, legs on Tuesday, so on and so forth. The problem with this split is that it's essentially a little bit of a waste of time. Evidence shows that muscle protein synthesis is only elevated within a muscle group for about 24 to 48 hours after you train that muscle group. In other words, for a beginner, there's really no reason to wait longer than about 2 days after training a muscle group to get back in there and train the same muscle group again. Let me put it like this. If you were in Morrowind and you had 5 major skills, would you arbitrarily limit yourself to only training each of those skills once per week when you were fully capable of training them more often than that? I don't think so. The second reason has to do with exercise selection. Body part splits tend to focus too much on isolation movements and not enough on compound lifts. Now, there's nothing wrong with isolation movements, and in fact they have their place, but compound movements are much more efficient at developing that strength and muscle base. And there's a few reasons for this. First of all, they stimulate more muscle groups, providing splashover effect and just in general being a more efficient use of your time. Second, they involve more stabilizers and they work your body together as one functional unit. And finally, you can put a lot more weight on the bar for a compound lift than you can for an isolation exercise. And ultimately, more weight lifted equals more overload, more strength, and more muscle hypertrophy. And then, once you spend a solid year or 2 really focusing on those compound lifts and solidifying that foundation, that's when you start to bring in a few more isolation exercises to balance out any possible weaknesses. It's very much like how in Skyrim, every time you level up, you have to focus on the greater foundations of health, stamina, or magicka before you place your perk point. Because what's the use of placing a bunch of perk points in conjuration if you don't have enough magicka to cast any conjuration spells? Anyway, I hope you gained some experience points from that. If you made it to the end of the quest and you happen to know anybody else who's trying to level up in the gym, or just anybody who likes doing quests, do them a favor and share this quest with them. And as always, if you want to join me in future quests, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join my party. Until next time, Mulata Rants, logging out.